Oh, hi, Gazamas. Good morning,
Hi,
Ronnie.
Thomas. Fine. And you?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. An absolute pleasure for me to be able to be speaking with you today. It's quite funny because at this point of the interview, I'm meant to be doing the introduction, but I feel like I need to be introducing myself, and you'll be the guy that all the fans know. So this is quite strange.
No. I think until 4 or 5 years ago, it might be like that, but at the moment is correct as what you are doing.
I hope so.
Thanks for what you achieved in the last few seasons. Amazing.
But it's been some fun battles, right? And so, to those who don't know, you are Mr. Super GT. You are the King of Japan. It's a remarkable career. I mean, when I first came to Japan, obviously, it's amazing because I knew about yourself. I knew about Andre Lotterer, JP, and of course, as a young guy, you want to, race you guys for not individual races or try get close, but you want to fight for championships. And it's been pretty cool that in the last few years we've been able to do that. But at the same time, now we're doing this interview, I'm starting to look more and more through your career, and it's a nice one. Huh? It's a nice story. So I'm quite interested to talk to you about that today.
So you just knew about like my Super GT career, like you didn't?
No, I knew a lot about that.
Know.
But for example, I never knew you raced for Prema.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's super nice. Huh? You started your Formula Renault career in Italy with Prema.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it means, in 2000, it was like the first season, like the new Formula Renault 2000, it was named in those years. The car like appeared, and
yes.
it was a big step with Formula Renault car compared to the previous generation one, and it was the first time Prema they did the Formula Renault as a racing team. Right. They were like very popular with Formula 3 until that time. So they built up like a double team. They continued with Formula 3 and with Formula Renault. And I live because I know you drove for them as well.
Yeah.
And I think you know very well the area there, like in the Veneto, like Vicenza. Yes. And I live in Verona. So okay. Verona is 1 hour and 1 hour and a half driving by car. So it's for us it's like a very familiar team, but it's very nice team.
And then so the other very cool points which I did know about, your karting career was very successful, second in a few big championships, including the World Championship in Formula A, and you still do some karting now as well, right?
Yes, because being Italian, I don't know how much you drove karting. I mean, how much you are familiar with that, but the kart, like the base of karting in the world is like Italy, yes. Almost all like the manufacturers, like they are there from Italy. And being Italian, if you are quick, it's easier like to become like factory driver, and especially 25 years ago, or when I started like doing karting, it was like to see like the professional karting drivers. Then a few of them like they step up also. They had a successful career also in Formula 1.
It was the golden era, right? It was the golden era of karting. Yeah.
Golden era, and it was like in those years when I started, it was a dream, like just to become like a top category karting driver, and being there, and I was quite okay, and it was easy being there to become like a factory driver, and I really experienced like as you said, like the golden era, and to work directly with manufacturers, as I was like in the last part of the career in karting before coming to Japan. I was like professional karting driver, and it was like to drive Super GT now in Japan. Like you need to develop the machine and tires as well.
Okay.
And karting, compare like racing cars. Karting is more like you can see, you can touch with your hand. You can smell. It's really pure like
The
motorsport.
natural feel.
Yeah. So for me, it was like amazing, and that's thanks to karting actually, because why I came to Japan. I had the chance to come to Japan. Like they scouted me in karting. Yeah, in the World Championship.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm quite jealous of that, because growing up in New Zealand, of course, karting was a huge part of my life, but I only know about World Championship karting or karting in Italy through magazines. And of course, when I was in karting, I ended up then racing a few of those guys I was watching in magazines a few years later in single seaters in Europe. But at that time, it was such a different world. In New Zealand, it's more about working with mom and dad at the track, and no teams or manufacturers. So that's a pretty cool point.
Yeah, but that's why all of us, we started like that, and then so it's nice memories. But I think you step up to single seater at 15, 16, or earlier?
12, 13.
12. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So in New Zealand, they have a scholarship program where you can apply for like 50,000 yen, 40,000 yen to do the scholarship. And then the winner wins a season of single seater racing. And so that was my first step into cars. And the cool thing about this scholarship was it was backed by a motorsport magazine in New Zealand. So it was quite good for promotion and advertising of your career, because all of your steps were in the motorsport magazine of New Zealand. So
it was like cool. And I think it was like this winter series. Also, many drivers, they came there to train.
Yeah,
and, it was like the same car.
No, so this was like a Formula V, which Formula Ford. Yeah, so this was the step before Formula Ford. So 1200cc engine, 4-speed manual gearbox.
Okay.
Road car tire, no downforce.
I see.
Luckily, we've ended up in quite nice seats now, and I'm sure you're the same, right? There must be teammates of yours from karting that have done very well.
Yeah, that's right. I think I feel like many of you, like they're like succeeding in America, like you, and in Europe, who is now like doing well?
So for me, I grew up with Mitch Evans. We were karting together, and Tom Blanc. Quite strange, considering we were all done in New Zealand.
Yeah, great.
And so, mate, what obviously right now is strange times. We're all stuck at home a little bit. We've been limited to what we've been able to do. What have you been up to the last 2 months?
Basically, where I live not in Tokyo. It's Yokohama.
Okay. Yeah.
And I have, I think, as also you are doing, like I like to do cycling as well. So I never like stopped like going outside, even when we had the lockdown. I was going outside, but of course, like try to avoid the contact with people. Yeah, so I kept training, and I'm married. I think you will be soon. I don't know, but and I have 2 kids, and it was a good chance, like in the night, to take them to bed. I didn't have to go out, for dinner, so to meet people, and I think it was the first time since they were like born, like I could like really spend a good time with them. Especially, it was very nice to take them to bed in the night and to sleep together, and I can feel like they can like now be closer to me. It was like it's nice as father, like to feel them close to you, because at one point when we are like we have to go out, we are concentrated for motorsport, and it's difficult to switch off, when you are in the season, and it was a good time, like. For me, the best thing of this, it was a hard time obviously for everybody, but to get the contact with kids was the best thing of this lockdown.
It's pretty cool to hear. There's been some positive points from this time as well, huh?
Yeah.
it's quite different stage.
And it's nice.
It's quite nice. Yeah.
This morning before they went to school,
yeah,
I asked them in a few hours, I'm going to have a chat in Zoom with one foreign Super GT drivers. And I said, he is very quick. He is very quick. I said, Super GT driver, not Japanese. And they said Nick Cassidy at the first time.
Hey, I like your kids already. I like your kids already.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, because they love Super GT, you know, they are like, they come to Fuji and Motegi every races. And they watch on TV, so they know very well. And
do they have an interest to get into racing?
The boy, which is he's 8 years old. Of course, he likes motorsport. He's playing at home with cars, and we went for karting together sometime. He's keeping asking me, I want to go again, but I'm not pushing them, you know, for motorsport.
Fair enough.
So I'm telling him like soccer is good sport, baseball is good. So try them.
It's a lot cheaper. Huh?
Try this sports as well. So no, you know, the point is to start. You need to take them for karting. You need to start with karting, and in the weekends you need to take them at the circuit. And as you can imagine, if you have a free weekend, you don't want to go to circuit even in that weekend. You know, like even for karting is the same. You know, or wheels.
I guess after your career, it's a lot easier, right? But
yeah, that's right.
When you're at this level and you need to be focused on your current program, it's difficult to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm not pushing. I'm not. I don't think they will become like a race drivers, or I prefer like some easier sport, you know, like to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, like it's nice to see how much they like, and especially Super GT for kids is a really fantastic series. You know, like when they, as you can see, you know, when the kids they come to the circuit. With all the events, they are preparing like a GTA for Kids Walk and the song, and the cars, like Super GT cars, is very easy for kids to, you know, because of the color and the sponsor to memorize.
Right, which
for kids, amazing. Yeah.
Even the activities out the back of the circuit is pretty special, right? When I know you and I sometimes have gone off together to do a talk show. But I'm quite jealous sitting at the talk show, looking at all of the events happening, thinking, I would like to go see that. You know, there's a lot happening that we obviously don't get to see during the race.
That's right. Like to be there sometime as a to watch as a fan, not just on the
it's quite nice
on the stage.
Right?
That's right.
And something that, you know, that's quite interesting. Obviously this time in the world at the moment, racing stopped a little bit. It's quite hard, I guess, for many companies and many families financially during these times, not just in Japan, but worldwide. And in terms of world media, there's a lot of talk similar to the GFC, you know, 10, 11 years ago. And I really hope that through motorsports, we can continue doing what we're doing, because the factory support from, you know, Nissan, Toyota, Honda right now at this level in Japan is amazing. And I understand, you know, just looking back at the numbers during the GFC, categories like Formula Nippon, we lost a lot of cars, right? A lot of cars couldn't continue. Was that also a reason for yourself to stop Super Formula or Formula Nippon back then?
At my time, I stopped because it was the time I came to Japan at the beginning with to drive Formula 3, as you did with it was like Toyota's team.
Okay.
And I was doing well in Formula Nippon. It was it was like I was really focused, you know. Obviously, like when you are driving like Formula 3, your target is to step up to Formula Nippon, now Super Formula.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was I tried to do well with Formula Nippon, and I got a chance to the offer from Nissan for Super GT.
Okay.
And I had to choose between Formula Nippon, like to stay there in Formula Nippon and not sure like to have a chance to drive in that time Super GT, or like to have the chance to become like a Nissan driver. Okay. And for me, like when I came to Japan at first, I was like watching Super GT races on TV, and it was very attractive. It was like to see like all the show around. And Nissan, I really like I went even to watch a few races at the circuit, like when you go in the paddock. Nissan was something special for me, you know. And when I got the offer, I accepted the offer from Nissan, and you know, because Nissan, they don't have the engine in
Nippon, which makes it hard
in the Nippon, and I didn't have like the chance also to drive Formula Nippon. So at that time, it was hard to stop because it's still like I still loved like formulas, and I had but and then unfortunately I started to do well with Super GT, and little by little I started to forget like single seater. And that one point is like you know, this generation of Super GT cars, the driving style is very close to Formula cars, and you really enjoy the driving. And if you go back like to 15 years ago, like in those years, the Super GT cars, like I had a few tests at the beginning after I won the Formula 3 championship. It was like completely different, the feeling. It was like you really felt like you are on a touring car. Okay. And for a driver that you don't have experience with touring cars, it was like a completely different driving style. But in these years, I think I would say like from the year I moved when I started to drive for Nissan, the new GTR, like came in the GT 500 class. The driving style, it was like to drive a Formula 3, so very enjoyable. And thanks to that, little by little, I started to forget about Formula Nippon and Super Formula. But for me, it's still a bit a regret. I wanted to do to have some more longer career. But
you still want to race. You still had 4 years in the championship. It's still quite a lot now. Really?
In Super GT?
In Nippon.
No, I mean it's I'm not confident. Like I'm watching like your races, you guys racing Super Formula. I mean the lap time is so quick. The cars, like I heard also, I can hear from some drivers, like they said the corner speed is very high. I don't think like physically I can after more than 10 years without driving. I'm not sure, but I think it's too much like demanding physically. I'm not confident I can drive at that speed.
I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. It's like anything. When you're first day back, it's always a shock, right? And then with time, it becomes easier.
No, but honestly, already since more than 5 or 6 years ago, when I started to win championship with Super GT, I started to be very concentrated to Super GT, and I wanted to keep doing well. And you start to become busy. You have many things to do.
Sure.
And I think I feel like what my life, how it's organized now, I wouldn't have the time to do the Super Formula in the right, like as I like, you know, like to give 100% of, to have everything perfect around me, you know, because just to drive, and when you don't feel like you have everything under control, it's not what I like, you know. And I feel I just have now the energy just for Super GT to do it as I want, to have everything like perfect around me.
I don't from the outside, I think that's a really positive thing, you know. From being a foreigner coming to Japan, you are the perfect role model for young drivers, especially coming from overseas in Japan. My dad is always telling me, for example, look at Ronnie's level of Japanese. Come on, Nick, study Japanese more, for example. But you can see with, you have a lot of great partners as well that you obviously work with alongside, your program from a personal point of view. But then to see you driving for the factory team, probably the most iconic team in Super GT, is what every young driver aims for. So, you did the right move in my books. No problem.
No, that's right. As I said before, like Nissan, for me, like Nissanismo it was like when I came to Japan and I was watching races on TV, it was like a dream to become like a driver for them. And sometime now when I'm there, when I get there in the paddock, go in the motorhome, I still feel like, wow, how lucky I am, like to be here. It's
That's
like,
nice. That's really nice. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's quite a unique thing, right? Because I don't really see other manufacturers to have the same kind of factory team as Nissan does. Do you think that will change in the future, for one way or the other?
I hope no, it will keep as it is.
But I mean, or more even, do you think Toyota or Honda would then copy in a way what Nissan do? And
honestly, I think even I can watch on TV in these days, in these weeks, like they are showing like races over 20 years ago. Like at that time, I could see the gap between like the way Nismo was running, like their way. It was like a factory team, satellite teams, and Honda and Toyota, they were like more with or private teams. But in this, in the last, like I would say, 10 seasons, it seems like from my point of view, like Honda and Toyota, they try to get close to the way like Nissan, Nismo, they are like how they are running the teams, how they are managing. I don't see a big gap now, honestly. They are. I can see like the level now is amazing.
I can't complain. I mean, I think the level of support that Toyota gives us is incredible, and also to the other Toyota teams as well. Surimo now with 2 cars. Saad, Juichi's gone there. They are pushing. So don't worry. They are there also. Yeah.
No, the point is like as I said, like in old days, like GT, you had like many different cars. So like you could see the way like teams that were like doing pit stop. It was different. Like so many cars that they are doing pit stop with 30-second, cars with 45. Now is thanks also to regulation.
Yeah.
And I think everything is so close. As you can see, like we are the pit stop time, the way we are doing like a pit stop, each team, like Toyota, Honda, or either Nissan is very close, and the level grow a lot.
Yes. Okay.
I really feel like even the drivers now you have like all of you it's not easy, like if you miss something, it's very easy to be in the middle or in the low part of the field.
Sure. Yeah. I can even feel that in the 5 years I've been in GT. I mean, especially this year, now we are on new regulations. My initial feeling is the category is much closer. The 3 manufacturers are really all there, and it's super fun because we are looking for the small margins, right?
That's right.
Driver as team, and it's competitive. Yeah.
And I think it's great now. Like also Honda, they are with the same regulation as us. With they have now the front engine.
Right.
It was sometime like we were saying Honda is quick in the weight because the midship engine. It was like you try to find the excuse, but now we are all.
But they're still quick.
That's right. But now we don't. We cannot complain anymore. Like if you are the quick, it means like they are doing working weight. I would say it's after a long time, or even the first time in the Super GT history. Now this season is the first one, like in GT500 class, we are all with the same, all the 3 manufacturers. Really? All the 3 manufacturers running with the same, like we have the same engine. All the regulation is like they are following the regulation. All the 3 manufacturers. I think it's the first time in the Super GT history.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the lap time also shows that, right? Because we are all there, basically.
Yeah, that's right. So it's very close.
You can always talk, okay, one is here, but in general, it's closer than ever.
The point is that now it's the 3rd generation car with the new class 1 regulation, and all the three manufacturers that they couldn't point out what they were missing with the previous cars. So I think now all the cars, even to drive, even your car, I think I'm sure is the best one of the last 5-6 seasons to drive. It's very nice you feel the car nice to drive, but when you see the lap time, also the competitors.
Exactly. No, that's very true. And it's funny what you're saying before about Formula 3. I mean, Japan, I think, do a very good system. I have a very good system where they have their junior drivers into Formula 3 programs, and then bring in a European guy who's had success in Europe and looking for the next stage of his career to Formula 3, the chance to win the championship. It's the perfect breeding ground, right? Because the cars are very similar to drive to Formula 3 now, and especially this new generation, they're quite easy. The braking is important. The downforce level's high. I think you're really, really correct when saying the driving style compared to Formula 3 is similar.
Yeah, that's right. It's nice for me. Like coming from karting, I don't like to feel like the role of the car. I like to attack the braking. That's what I like. So if the car is not stable under braking or this, as it was in old days, I don't feel like I'm enjoying the driving. But in these days, like you can really attack. You feel like you can do more and more under braking to try to gain time.
Yes.
So I'm sure we are like, and then the tires performance, the grip, having the competition between tires manufacturer, which is the unique here in Japan. I think we are very lucky. We can experience I'm sure the best grip ever, like there is now in the world.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the feeling when you have a construction and compound that works for you is unbelievable. Yeah. I must say though, one thing, I mean, I'm not so happy about with you is I've been holding it to myself for a while, but last year at Fuji, I thought I did the perfect lap in qualifying and you still had me by 2/10. And so I had the perfect tire. The car was fantastic. The lap was great. And then they said to me on the radio, Nick, your P2 Ronnie is and it's funny, man. I've never had a pole position in Super GT, and and I look at your career and you've had 18, 17 pole positions.
No, 14.
14, but it's the most.
It's the second one. Tachikawa is the.
Oh, really?
The most.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tachikawa is more than 20, I think. Yeah.
Really?
He's the king. Okay. Is the king of qualifying pole position.
In my mind, I've always seen you as the king of qualifying. No.
I'm second position, so it's one of my targets. So it was so important to beat you last season. Try to catch. No, but it's incredible because you drive the free practice in Saturday morning.
Yes.
And then you drive a few laps. Usually I drive at the beginning, and then Sugio is driving the second part and the 10 minutes, like the 500 session where the lap time is improving.
Yes.
And then when if you go to Q2, I'm usually driving Q2. With the grip we have now, but with the grip you have now, you have usually we have one lap with the tires.
Yes.
You try to warm up in the perfect way, and then you already before getting in the track, you can already image lap 2 or lap 3, and you have that lap. And the point is you don't drive like 3-4 laps pushing, and you try to do more and more. In that lap, when you arrive in Fuji, out of the last corner, and you arrive at turn 1 in that lap, in the flying lap, and you don't know where to go to brake, because you have the experience in the morning free practice, and when you are 2 seconds lower from the
track
lap
difference
time.
is crazy, huh?
Yeah.
From the start of practice, when you would have drove to Q2. Yeah. I think people don't really understand even, Q1 to Q2, it develops a lot, right?
So, that's right. And in the morning, I think in Fuji, I was doing 1 minute 29. It was my best time in the free practice in the round 2. And when you are running, you don't know the lap time you are going to do when you come back, And I felt the feeling was good. I felt like the engine was running well, the grip was quite okay. And when I came back, I see 26.8 the lap time. Wow. It's
yeah, impressive. That's nice.
Yeah, it was. But we were very close. It was anyway. You were 1/10, 2/10 behind.
Yeah,
so
2/10.
And it was really, I wanted to do that race like with dry condition from the beginning, not with wet. We started the race with wet. It was like the condition was changing a lot. Like to do this Fuji race. It was like Golden Week race with a lot of spectators on dry condition to try to see nice. To try to see the level also during the race where we were like.
I wasn't strong in the rain that race, so I also would have preferred a dry race.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one this year. I mean, we have a lot of races at Fuji, and
that's right.
Yeah, there's no excuses for anyone to drive round 3 or 4 and not say they don't know what they're doing, right? So it's going to be interesting. But also with I think November the championship finishes at Fuji, so potentially that lap record can be under threat.
No, but I heard that end of November it will be raining in Fuji.
Okay.
Yeah, the forecast is saying like that. Yeah. No, anyway, like it would be interesting to see that. I no idea about the lap time we are going to do. Also round 1, it would be, but obviously with very hot conditions, and I think for the engine especially, it would be harder compared like last year in May, but it would be, I think like the lap time would be very close also on round 1, no weight in the car.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about the weight point. Yeah.
I
might not be popular for saying this, but that's one point I don't like about Super GT. The weight. The weight.
Really?
Yeah, I must say 5 years ago, when the gap between the cars was a lot, it made some sense and you can still fight. But now, with everyone so close, I think you can go from first to last.
That's right. It's terrible. Yeah. That's right.
So it's quite extreme, you start, right?
Yeah. Already with 30 kilos on the car, you are losing time and the positions. It start to be hard. I remember like 2014, 15, it was like the first, especially the first season with the new generation car, with the class 1 generation. As you said, there was more gap between like team and teams. At that time, even you had the like maximum weight. If you were like
was 100 kg right then.
Yeah, that's right. You still could like to stay like to fight to go at least in qualifying the Q2. I remember in 2014 we were never like out from Q2, even with the weight.
Really with the weight. Yeah.
That's but impressive. now is at one point of the season it's so difficult to enter like qualifying the Q2. When you start to have weight, and it's very frustrating. But it's good like to give the chance like to the teams like to fight for the podiums.
Sure.
For all the sponsors that are supporting the teams. I think this regulation is very simple in Super GT. Like you give 2 kilos for 1 point for 1 championship point. It's very simple to understand. I honestly like a lot now how it's very simple like to understand where you are. In the old days, like 10, 15 years ago, it was like completely different, the weight system. Like
really?
Yeah, they were giving you like I think 40 kilos if you win the race, and then in the next race if you don't get into the top 5, they will remove almost all the kilos for the next race. Okay. And you need to control it. It was confusing, yes. But now it's very you are getting heavier, so it's
yes.
I think now it's as regulation I like.
Okay, fair enough.
As you said, when you are if you are competitive at the beginning of the season and you are scoring points, in the middle of the season you start to have like a few boring races. Like you have, when you are competitive, even mentally it's easier. Everything is easier. But when you start to have weight in the car and the fuel restrictor, I mean,
for the last 3 seasons, my team and my engineer have done too good a job at Okayama, so we always start the season well, and then the middle of the season, I'm quite happy to stay home.
But I think you, Nick, you are starting the race. You are the starting driver almost every time. When you start the race with this handicap weight, the first stint is terrible. Like you have a lot of traffic with the 300, and if you have the fuel restrictor handicap on the straight, they start to come behind you. It's hard.
Yeah, sure.
I think the second stint is easier when you are in this kind of condition. Sure. But it's a part of the game.
It's a specialty thing, right? I mean, it's quite funny because before the race, we'll look at the qualifying sheet. I'm not sure about yourself, and I'll always go, okay, Ronnie, he's starting. When James Rossiter used to be on the grid, okay, James, he'll be starting. And you could kind of pick out the starting grid. And they got to a point where I wouldn't check the GTA form because I would just be assuming, okay, that guy, he's starting, right?
I think last season you started 7 races, or maybe I think 1 race Rio started, no? 1
That's
or 2.
Right. We tried 1 for Rio, and he didn't like it. Yeah.
Suzuka, right? Right, yes. Round 3.
Yeah.
I remember you drove the second stint just in Suzuka last season, and you did the weight there. It was great.
Honestly, I would prefer to drive the second stint. I like it because of the cold tire for the outlap. I think that's quite exciting.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
The stint is much longer.
Yes,
so you do a lot more larger part of the race. So I'm always asking the guys, can I do the second stint? But Rio doesn't want to do the start. So, and usually in that third stint, you guys are always really quick. I remember round 2 Fuji for that final stint with the temperature coming down and things. It's quite a different situation to the start of the race. And I think from the fans' point of view, it's maybe listening to this interview, it's quite interesting how much effort the teams go into with detail, understanding the conditions and the track, and even from drivers during that race, the changing conditions is quite incredible. Huh?
That's right. In the last stint, compared to the first one, you were out, much more rubber on track, temperature is going down. Sometimes you are changing the tires compound, like to adapt for that stint. As you said, it's a nice one. If everything is like you have working well, the atmosphere with the fans, so many fans at the circuit, you can really see like when they are cheering up for your car, for you. Sure. It's very nice. I really love the Golden Week Fuji race. It's very nice.
It's funny on the grid. Quite often the grandstand is full of fans, and there's the chant. So it's Nissan, 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 right? And I think it must have been maybe 3 or 4 races. I always thought they were saying Nick, Nick, Nick.
So I should tell them.
Huh?
I should tell them. You should be more clear when you are like cheering up for us, because you are giving power to Nick, not to us. Thank you for telling. So in the last round of the season, we have many races in Fuji this year. Yeah, so I will try to make sure like we need to change something there.
Oh,
good.
No, look, mate. It's been really cool catching up with you. Maybe there are many topics we could have spent here hours talking more about, and I'm sure I'll come to you at the circuit asking you more questions. But thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's been very nice catching up.
Thank you to you, Nick.
Obviously, with what we're doing, charity interviews, passing the relay on. Now, I'd like to ask you who you would like to speak to next.
I have a few drivers on the list. I still need to make sure who is going to be the one selected and if he's available, of course.
Okay.
I was thinking about, of course, I never had this kind of chat with my teammate, Tsugio. As you know, this is our 7th season in a row together as a teammate.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
It would be good. But I'm not sure. I think I will not pick up Tsugio. It would be interesting, try to ask to Juichi Wakizaka. Juichi,
yes.
It will be I think I will enjoy this kind of chatting. And
make sure you schedule 2 hours.
So it would be nice if Juichi can join, and I will take my time, as you said.
Okay,
and
great,
I think I will start to make questions and to talk, but I think at one point I will not talk anymore. It will keep explaining to us. It will be very nice, and it will change. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Maybe I have to get a translator to copy me in for that one, but I look forward to watching and listening.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, mate. Thank you, and we see you at Fuji.
Okay, see you soon at Fuji. Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
Bye.
Cheers,
Have
Ronnie.
a nice day.
Bye, man.
Bye. Bye.
You too.
Bye. Bye.
KIZUNA